Hey, okay, I got cut off. So I had to make another video. Go back to where I was. Oh yeah, so Jay had stopped being interested in the activity that we had been doing. So I decided to switch to something else. He had his head down on my table and he just didn't want to play with anything. So I decided to put on his favorite show, which is called El Chavo. And as soon as I put it on, he he put his head up to look. After a few minutes, I decided to pause, and again, I had the Sonoflex out. I asked him if he wanted to continue watching it, and he agreed by saying yes. And so I modeled how to select object on the Sonoflex because it's separated by categories, object, and then select computer. And then we resumed the video. After a few minutes again, I paused the video. I did this. I modeled how to select it again. And he actually got upset. He does this thing where sometimes whenever I try to help him or model a phrase or do hand over hand for something, he will just get upset. He does this often. He'll say, like, he'll push my hand away. He'll get upset. So I was able to record this behavior here. So this is when I paused it and I asked him if he wanted more. And so I was trying to get him to request, but he just kept playing the video on his own and pushing. He grabbed the computer and brought it all the way towards him, and he did not want to allow me to have him request. So again, I let him watch it for a few minutes, and then I attempted this again. The second time around, he did allow me to model the request, and he was able to imitate it. And then again, he no longer got upset throughout this activity. He requested easily. Every time I paused, he already had the Sonoflex in front of him, so he would just quickly request, and then the video was resumed by me. And then along with this activity, I had also set up some snacks on my table just in case he wanted anything, and that really encouraged him. So all I did was ask him if he wanted a snack, and he quickly grabbed the iPad. He saw that there was a category for food. He selected that all by himself, and he actually looked for the picture of snacks. He's probably seen these pictures before at school as well. So he was able to do that right off the bat. And he would quickly, just like you could see there, he quickly looks for food and he finds snack and he selects that, and then I would allow him to grab a gummy. During the rest of the session, what I really liked was that there was no more avoidance behaviors. He no longer put his head on the desk. He was requesting the rest of the session without getting upset. His mom came into the room the last 10 minutes and she observed this as well. And he was really excited. Like, every time he would request, he would turn to look at her to make sure she would clap. Because he was requesting on his own. And he is able to say, like, snack or want independently, but whenever it comes to him using phrases independently, unless you prompt him to do it, he will not do it by himself. It's really rare. Sometimes when he walks in, he will say, "Hi, Miss Heidi," when he walks in, but besides that, the rest of our sessions, unless there's a visual or unless he's prompted, he will not use phrases by himself. Okay, so then on our second trial, I wanted to attempt using picture communication. So I have been trained in the first 3 phrases of PECS, so I was excited to introduce this to him, but Joel didn't seem as excited as I was. So this day he was actually in a great mood. He walked into my room. He didn't run into the storage room. He came in. He told me he picked out a ball. He showed me he wanted to play with the ball, so we played with the ball for a little bit. I brought a basketball hoop in my room. We were throwing it in the basketball hoop. But then once I grabbed the ball, I placed a picture of ball on the table. He was next to my table as well. I grabbed his hand to reach for the picture, and he didn't want to grab it. He grabbed the picture, he threw it on the ground. When I grabbed his hand again, he got upset. He didn't want to. He automatically lost interest in our activity because he did not want to request. Again, I tried to engage him with whatever activities I had in my room. So this is a difficult case. But he did not want anything. He did sit down in the chair next to me. So what I did was I grabbed my phone and I picked out a game. And I think he had his head down also on my table. So again, when he heard the sound of the game on the phone, he picked up his head and he was like, "Oh, what's this? Let me see what it is." So the game is actually called Peekaboo. So what it does is it has some animals hiding, and you hear their animal sounds. So a lot of times we'll try to guess, like what animals it is, and then you have to tap the screen, and then whatever's in front of it will move away, and you can see what animal it is. Or they have transportation vehicles, different things. So we played with an animal, the jungle animal version, and he quickly got engaged. He was tapping the screen, he was laughing, he was listening for the sounds. So since he did not allow for me to help him to reach for the picture during this, while he was playing with the phone, I grabbed my iPad, I opened it up to the Sonoflex app again, and I wanted to see if he would engage in requesting using the Sonoflex once more. So this was so exciting to see, because after playing with the game for a few minutes, I handed him the Sonoflex app. I think it's this one. I handed him the Sonoflex app, and I pulled the phone away out of reach, and I asked him if he wanted to play again, or I asked him, "Do you want some more?" And then he nodded his head yes. So I placed the Sonoflex in front of him, and I expected him to select want. But look what he did.
You remember where want is? You're going on objects? I don't think there's a picture of phone.
So
there.
I wanted him to use
want.
want,
You go home?
but he selected the picture of objects, and I was trying to cue him to go back to the home page to select want, but this is what he did.
Oh, video game.
So he actually went on objects, and I think what he was looking for was for a picture of phone, but there's not a picture of a phone under that category. So he did find a picture for video games all by himself, and he selected video games to request more, and that he did all by himself.
Okay, this is a game. Good job. Oh, you did it.
So that was really neat to see. And if you can see here, he's happy to have the Sonoflex right in front of him. He actually really liked being in control of it during the rest of our activity. So using, oh no, I went all the way to the bottom. Okay, so using this activity, which was highly motivating for him, he requests by selecting objects and then looking for the picture of the video game on the second page all by himself. Every time I would pull the game away, and he knew that he wanted to touch the screen, so he would look for the picture and select it. But after a few times, I decided to work on commenting to see if he would pick that up. So what I did was, when an animal came out that I thought was an animal that I liked, I started selecting I like, and then I would click it on the top so that it would say I like. And then I would say, "Oh, I like this polar bear. I like polar bears. They're so cute." And he started doing the same thing. So on another occasion, when I saw an animal I did not like a snake, I told him, "Oh, I don't like snakes. I'm very scared of them." And animals kept appearing, and for every animal, he started telling me if he liked it or not. Not always did he produce the phrase correctly. Sometimes he would put select like and then I, but it was so